Hello and welcome to another edition of Solo Gamer OSR. This time we're going to take a look at the box set that for me got it all started. The Dungeons & Dragons Frank Mentzer Basic Rules Set number 1. I received this set for Christmas. You can see it's got a little bit of damage there. And I also received the companion set. I got that from my grandmother, and the basic set I got from Mom and Dad. And then we realized I had to have the expert set, which came in between. So I got that for my birthday about 2 months later. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside the box. Okay, that is not anything illegal. That is my original dice. They're pretty beat up. I'll go ahead and take them out so we can look at them. And as you can see, they're pretty nasty. The 8-sider and the 10-sider came out all right. The 20-sider is particularly beat up. But those are the only dice we had at that time, so that's what we used. Starting with the player's manual. It says read this book first. Of course, the classic Larry Elmore cover. I just don't think you can get any better than that. And we open it up. We got our table of contents. A little bit of a preface from Frank Mentzer, the man himself who revised all this. And the introductory learning, well, module, I guess you would say. Adventure would be probably more correct. First actual threat you face, the snake, and the treasure that you get from that. Of course, the lovely cleric Alina, who dies sadly in this game, even though in mine I actually made my save and I saved her. So that's why when I did my solo OSR adventures, I made it so that I did actually save her and she lived. You get a little bit different prize for that, a little different magic item. I believe it's a potion of giant strength. No, potion of growth. It is actually a potion of growth. But the rules make you go back and pretend that you missed a saving throw, and so poor Alina died. But again, not in my game. And then you have the choose your own adventure style adventure. I didn't do as good on this one. I lost all my money to the magic mouth. I did not get that. I should have gotten that. It was a fairly easy riddle. But there's the map for that. And then it goes into, of course, the different classes. It explains a little bit about each one. You get a description of the class and their abilities. In this case, the cleric. You also get a description of the spells. In the center here was some graph paper and a sample character sheet. I did take those out. I do still have them somewhere, actually right here apparently. So there's your sample characters, and there's the graph paper. I don't know what adventure that was that I was on there that I used it on, but I did. Center of the book was the most important. This is where all the charts were, the quick reference charts. And then the rest of the book fleshes out the character classes. And in this game, your race is class, if you're a dwarf, elf, or halfling. There you can see the dwarf. And then it just goes on with good adventuring advice for new players. Of course, at the end of the book, we see the advertisements for the Role-Playing Game Association and Dragon Magazine. And one of my other favorite games, Star Frontiers. Didn't get to play that for about 2 years after I got this set, but it was a great experience. Second book in here, of course, the infamous Dungeon Master's Guide. And gives you the symbology for all your maps. And it gives you a little bit of an explanation on how to be a DM, what you have to do, before it launches into what's now known as the Misdemeanor Castle adventure. I don't think it was called that in this book. It might have been called Castle Misdemeanor. I don't recall, actually. We all went through that. A lot of people got tagged by the carrion crawler before they got in there. I actually died up here. The kobolds took me out with arrows before I could get to them the first time. The second level, I think I did play that one time, but it wasn't really something I did a lot. We had other modules, and we chose to write our own a lot as well. Of course, you get the monster manual is built right into the book. You get a pretty good selection of creatures, including dragons. Not really sure why they put those in a first level through third level book. It's a little beyond your level, but maybe just for the flavor. And it does say Dungeons and Dragons. Wouldn't be right if you didn't have dragons in there. And the treasure tables. Specifically the magic items, we were all quite excited. And it's a pretty sparse selection, actually, when you compare it to AD&D and other more modern stuff. But still, this is a section I read over and over and over. I wanted every single magic item. Wandering monster tables and some reference charts to hit charts for the monsters, so you knew if they hit you. And also the wandering monster charts gave a new DM a bit of an idea as to what to put for monsters on each level. And then you have your index on the back cover. On the back cover of the player's manual was this baby here, the character sheet. Not really sure. Artemis Stout, a halfling. I don't even remember that character. Not sure where that came from or what game campaign that was in. But that's a look at my basic set. As you can see, it's well worn. I don't take it out too much anymore. I use my Rules Encyclopedia. Unfortunately, I got a little bit of some damage on the cover, but that'll be the last damage it gets because we don't really use it for gaming anymore. So that's going to do it for this episode of Solo Gamer OSR. Let me know what you think. Is this a set you started with, and did you like the BECMI Red Box? Leave a comment in the comments section, and I'll see you next time.